welcome to One Stop Adjuster. My email address is todd@one-stop-adjuster.com. And I do have a pocket guide. So if you want the pocket guide, please email me that. It will be beneficial for you to have it, and I will send it to you. Again, right here on the screen, DocuSketch, Magic Plan, iGuide, Matterport. These are all good softwares. I'm not going to beat I don't know what I was going to say, but I'm not going to go into it very much. They're large corporations. They're very good products. I have used all of them except for iGuide. I have not used, and I've heard some great comments about it. Again, there's your pricing. OSA is comparable on your right-hand side to it, and kind of where we go. Purchase price is current as of right now. So if you're looking at possibly getting some claims, you might want to do that now. It's up to you. Price per claim, and you can order in bulk of 10. Pricing will be going up. I am actually live with Xactimate right now. We are waiting for Apple because of the holiday. Apple did not get our review completed. So we are waiting for the Apple review to be completed, and then the latest version will be going on or going up into the Apple store. There's no additional cost to you. All you got to do is just go ahead and update it. Pricing will be affected probably next week sometime once I get everything ironed out with Xactimate. But as of right now, we are live with them. Pricing is still kind of foggy, but they've signed the contract. I've received it back. Everything is good to go. Use as you need. Number of properties. If you want to use it for all your claims, go ahead. I used it last year for Hurricane Helene for all of my claims, even my CWAPs, just because I wanted to make sure I had a sketch. I know there's some individuals on here also that used it in that same process, or you can not use it, just depends. There's no additional cost for equipment. You don't have to buy a special camera. You don't have to buy anything. Hopefully you have an iPad. That iPad does have to be current as of 2020. And just so you guys know out there, I had a 2020 iPad, and I just recently changed it out, and it is 10 times better than my 2020 iPad. So you can take that to the bank, whatever you want to do. There's no subscription.
How much did that new iPad cost, Doc?
The new iPad was right at about $1,050.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more. I got the same data plan, everything on it, so it wasn't that much. But the
big difference.
You don't. Yeah, the M4 chip is that much better for the LiDAR and the capabilities of it.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. The ESX is at your fingertips, where you see in the chart right here, DocuSketch, it's not provided. Magic Plan's not provided. iGuide, yes, it is. Matterport, it is not provided. The ESX here for OSA is done. It's part of your package. There's no extra cost for you. It's built into the same pricing. There's no extra 2,500 square feet for $65 more. It's one price. That's it. No additional extra fees. Turnaround is instant. Just so you know, there's no 24 hours. There's no 48 hours. Once you fill out all the information in the claim data, and you finish your scope, you finish your sketch, you finish your photos, and you go through the process that is also in the pocket guide, it's instant. It is there, save, download. The only time it won't be instant, and I'm just going to laugh at this, the only time it is not instant is if there's a problem with Xactimate. And I ran into that during the beta test, and Pam ran into that during the beta test. Everything was good to go. It was just Xactimate was down and we couldn't get it. A couple hours later, an hour later, we were able to get it in. Gary, you had a question?
I did. Getting back to that new tablet that you purchased, is it the iPad Pro?
Yes, I purchased the latest iPad Pro 11.
Thank you.
Yep. just put your hand down, please. Yep, thanks. All right, there's no 2D or there's no 3D rendering. There's no 360-degree tour. There's no inspection video, and there is actually on-screen measurements. I don't know why I put no, but there is actually on-screen measurements once you have your merged rooms, so you can see those. So that is actually a correction. So I'm going to correct it right here, just so you can all see it firsthand. Yes, there is. So all that is there. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about this kind of in the same layout as the pocket guide. But I'm going to go through this, then I'm going to show you the pocket guide just so you guys understand and can all not follow through with it today because you're not going to have it. I can't sit there and email you the pocket guide while I'm trying to teach the class. But you're going to go through a logging in, initial setup, an adjuster portal. That's basically your profile, what you want to set up. And that's for those companies that are mainly partnering with OSA, so you can get linked into their system using your OSA ID. And that's the most important thing. And I will show you that because you need to know where that is. Not resources. That's funny. I was thinking food, huh? Resources, then I still misspelled it. I'm not going to get this, am I? There, sorry. Resources, you got your business card and your FCN. You need to upload those. I would say do that after the update or now. You can get that in there, so it's going to be on all your claims. Then we're going to talk about the website, the import form, submit and save, and upload to OSA. It's that easy. And then OSA, the app OSA, you import the JSON, manually build, and purchase credits. And that's pretty much the administrative stuff. You do have the forms in there like I had last time. I'm going to briefly go into the forms, but the biggest thing about this, and I can show you, and I can just tell you, it's the claim data. You have to have the claim data in there. And I'm going to discuss that as we're going through the app and going into that. So let me make this disappear. Save, yep, close, and I'm going to bring up the pocket guide. Can everybody see the pocket guide in the screen? All right, yep. So I created this for you guys so you guys could have hands-on. I actually have a place where I print this out here in Mobile, and you can actually get them printed too, but I have to give them the updated version, okay? So I'm just going to scroll down, table of contents, admin, logging in, getting started, resources, same thing we just talked about. Then you have your inspection tools, and then we're closing out and some helpful hints, okay? All those things have to do with OSA. All those things right there have to do with closing your claim, making sure it's uploaded to Xactimate, and you can handle everything through the process, okay? Next page, logging in. 3 ways are established for logging into One Stop Adjuster. You can continue with Apple, continue with Google, or sign up with email. One thing I need you to know is if you sign up with email, you do have to verify your email address. Pam, do you have a question?
I do. I sent a little thing. Has the pocket guide changed since this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. I was going to go ahead and send them for you if they wanted to upload their email addresses, but I didn't want to see one.
Well,
so.
do you have the one with the numbers, the pages on the bottom of it?
Yes.
Okay, if you got the page numbers on the bottom, it hasn't changed since I sent that to you earlier. It hasn't changed.
Okay, so I hate to interrupt, but you guys, if you want me to send it to you while you're going through this class, I am happy to do that while he's going through it. So you can start putting your email addresses on the thing, and I'll get them out as fast as I can in the chat. Okay. That's
just make sure you let me know who you sent it out so they're not double getting it or whatever.
I will.
Yep. All right. Thank you. All right. So again, here's your login. You have to verify. You'll see that verify. This is a Google verify right here. But some of you have logged in with your email address, which is fine. Your email address will connect to Google if they're the same email address. But the email address, if you sign up the first time with that, it's going to send you an email that you have to verify. And here's the fallback. It goes to your junk mail. It goes to your spam. I don't understand why, but it's an unknown email because it's coming from wherever, OSA, info OSA. So it's going to your junk. So please make sure you're going through there and verifying that. We had that with a couple users last week. We were able to get it all fixed out. Okay, 3, getting started. Again, this is just a drop-down menu of what you have. You've got your resources right there, business card, FCN, adjuster profile, and purchase credits. Everything that I've kind of talked about. Okay, then you got your resources drop down. These are all helpful hints for you as an adjuster. These are tools at your hand. You have your claims handbook here. You have some checklists in here. You have different user tools that you can go in there and find, and you can actually send right there to the policy holder, or you can use them for yourself. If you've got a question on the policy, you can look up the policy. If you've got a question about your basement, you can look up a basement. Elevated building, same thing. But there's a handful of resources there, and if you're willing to share, I mean, I'll put anything in there. You can. I mean, it's just helpful hints. And I've got my eyes on a couple other things that I'll be updating. Actually, this pocket guide is going to go in there. Not this update for the Apple Store because we're kind of at a dead hang up right now with the Apple Store. What we've submitted to them is supposed to be approved, so you guys can start working on your claims with line items and everything like that. And that's what we're waiting to be approved. Then your adjuster profile. This is the most important thing, as I was saying, especially if you are partnering with, or your IA firm is partnering with OSA. And the reason is you need to have, you can't see it and I didn't circle it, your OSA ID right there. You want to make sure that you know that, make sure your IA firm knows that. And then this actual profile will actually sync with their system and give them the ability to figure out where you are, what your radius is, how many claims you can take. Okay. Then adding a claim. This is going to be kind of a 2-part. I'm going to go through the pocket guide, then I'm going to get into my website to show you this. But importing a claim, you have adding a claim, excuse me. You click on the pencil, you get over here to add a claim, click on add a claim, and then you have 3 choices. You can import a claim assignment, you can manually create a claim, or purchase more credits. Okay, a credit is a claim, just so you know. 1 credit per claim is how the invoicing and billing is used. And just to give you guys acknowledgement, if you purchase claims right now, there's been a couple questions. Can you get a receipt? I don't know that right now, and the reason is because you're not purchasing the claims from me. You're purchasing the claims from the Apple Store. As someone on this call told me, that the pricing is $139.99 for 10 claims, and after Apple charges you tax, it comes to like $147 something. Okay, so you'll be able to do that. Just with what I shared earlier, you will be able to purchase larger packages here with not this update that is at the Apple Store, with the next one, which is already basically being done. It's completed. We just don't want to stop what's at the Apple Store. So we want to be able to give you guys those, but you'll be able to purchase more claims. And I know there's a couple of you on here that already want to do that. Okay. So adding a claim, this is important claim. I'm going to talk about the website where you fill out this information. We'll get to that eventually. But once you have that, you're going to save the location. You're going to save it. You're going to submit the JSON. You're going to save it to a location. I use Google Drive for this, and then I can save file and import it directly into OSA. I'll get in that a little bit more in depth as we go through everything, showing you what you're actually saving. Okay. And then this, manually creating a claim. Here's manually, you create it, you go through this process, fill out those windows right there. And then once you save it, it's going to open up into the claim data. And this is all the information right here you need to be filled out in if you're manually creating it in OSA. If you've already imported a claim, all you need to do is just go check the claim data. That's really important that there's no blanks, because the claim data is self-driven, and it fills out your preliminary report, it fills out all the FEMA reports, and it fills out all the additional reports in the system. So you want to make sure that you have that done in the claim data. And then you can also download and save your logos if you want to for the IA firm or the companies you work for, and there won't be any problems with that. Okay, then purchasing claims, again, you just go to purchase credits, and then you can purchase 1 credit or 10 credits. The next one is going to be a couple bigger packages, different prices. So you'll see where the benefit is, and you'll see what you use and how you normally do it. I know what I would purchase right off the bat, but that's me. So I'm not going to try to persuade you or anything. Just you do what you think is right for you and how many claims you've handled in the past, because once you get stuck on OSA, you'll start using it and start using it more and more. Okay, claims dashboard. Again, here's the pencil that I was telling you about right here. You can use that pencil, you click on that, and then you get your claims. You have 2 types of claims right here. I know it's kind of small, but you have a current claims and incoming claims. The only time incoming claims is important to you is if you are attached or partnered with OSA for a firm. Then you'll want to use those incoming claims, because that's how you receive them, and they will populate into OSA for you. Okay. Then you got your claims dashboard, which is nothing more than an organization for you, just how to keep up with this. And like I tell people, you know, when I was in the military, it was red, you're dead. Well, in this case, if you see red, you haven't done something correct. Or if you see red, you haven't done something, period, on your claims. So you want to make sure that you're getting that stuff done for that. So again, green is good. Red is not, yellow is halfway there, kind of like a stoplight, you know. So make sure you're paying attention to that so you guys can understand the process of it. Okay, then here's a blown up view, claims dashboard. Notice that all these icons are here, or all these little bubbles are here. They expand to different windows for each one, just to help you keep track. You can actually go in there, and there's a pencil right there where my icon is. You can actually click on that pencil and put a date in there to help you also keep track. Also, I did not open this page up there. Notes is right here. I know some of you are required to keep an activity log. The activity log you can use right there in the notes. And yes, we're looking at, because it was asked a couple classes ago, the possibility of adding that to not this upload, or not this update, because it's already with Apple, but the next update to where you can print that activity log and attach it to your file. Okay, so that's coming. The next one is mapping. So let me go back one screen. So if you've got a claim in here, the dashboard, if you go to the next screen, you have a claim in here on the map. Okay, it automatically maps. Everything that you put into OSA is pretty much self-driven, intuitive. So it will map your claims for you. Therefore, when you have all your claims on there, different, they'll all be gray. You can then go in there and make your scheduling, per the zip code that you might be in. They might be scattered per the location. You might be driving on the Florida coast. You might be where I am right here in Alabama. Whatever you're doing, so you can co-locate those planes and make sure you're providing a good route. You can also show map right there if you look in the maps, and you can also get directions. There was a couple questions that came up. Notice also in the appointment that if you have, quote, if you have data service on your iPad, I can call, text, and email. If you don't have that, you can't do all those functions because I'm online. So depending on how it's working, where the internet is at that point, you have that ability on your iPad, but you have to have a data service for that. Otherwise, you have to hotspot to your phone, which kind of defeats the purpose. Just use your phone, okay? So that's just an update. Then you got a different calendar view here. What I like to show with this calendar view, and I will show you this live when I get into that, I can put my finger on this and drag it and change it, and then it updates everything in the forms, okay? Photos, the photos I'll get into deeper in detail on Thursday, but the photo main screen has changed from what it used to be. What we did was we tried to match it with the scope notes so it was less confusing for you and you guys could see that. So as you see up here, there's no photos taken. I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can blow it up. I think I'll lose my screen. Yeah, so if I blow it up, there's no photos taken right there. And as I go down, notice I've got these photos taken, and this photo has one photo, it needs a description. 2 photos need a description. 5 photos need, okay? So it's telling you what it needs in order to do that. What is this for? This is kind of like a checks and balance for you as an adjuster to go out there. If you have no photo, or if you have all your photos and you have descriptions in all your photos, it will say completed or something. I can't remember what it says. I'll have to look on my iPad when we get on there. So it's just a different way for you to identify that. Then you have the photos here. Remember this section right here, you can tag by report. So you have your general engineer, underwriting, prelim, advanced. Then you have your general, prelim, advanced, and special limits. You can tag right here, and also you can do a couple things with your photos. You can do auto recognition now. We have AI developed into it, and we just changed the platform for AI. So it's smarter now, I'd like to say. But then you can also use voice in it. And then you can, so you can use voice to text, and it will actually fill in as you sit there and talk to your microphone, or you can just type it in. I know some of you like to use that slide and can type in fast, and that's what I've seen done in the past. Me, I used voice to text, or I just typed it in on site, whichever one was better. Oh, I gotta string it down. Oh. Okay, then getting into Sketch, the Sketch platform has changed to some of you old beta testers. If you haven't seen it, now it's going to ask you to select a floor. You got to do it, and you just got to kind of follow the numbers through. So you select a floor, you go up there, select the floor, then you got to pick. You want to manually draw it or scan with LiDAR. So for those large commercial buildings, if you have to, you can do a manual draw. Just to give you an example, I was at the National Flood Conference, and it was a huge guest room, or whatever you want to call it, banquet hall. It scanned okay, but not very good, just because the ceilings were so high. But I just drew it out really quick, used my laser and just drew it out. Now we are working on one of the updates that's not going to happen this storm season because we don't want to do any major things. You will be able to use a laser to measure if you have to for the manual draw, and you will be able to just draw out a square if you do it. But I used LiDAR for all my scans in the recent storm, except for one building, and that was it. And that was a massive agricultural building. Okay. So again, manual draw is nothing more than just manual drawing right there. And then pick one. You can do the manual draw or scan room down there. So it's just kind of which one you want to do. I prefer the scan draw. I will show you a video of that. It's kind of like a teaser video for you for Friday. If you want to stay on and watch, some of you may have, or Thursday's class, excuse me, some of you may have already seen it, but I want to show it because there's a lot of new people on here. Okay, then name your room. Obviously, right here in the top, you're going to get this pulsating. You have to name your room, pick your room down here. So once you click on that, this window will open up. Oh, sorry. This window will open up there, and then you just pick your room. You can customize it. You can type it in, or you can pick from the list. I'm just in a habit to always typing it in. I don't scroll through the list, so I just type it in, and it's faster for me. Also, I want to show you on the scan, because some of you don't understand necessarily. There's a take photos right there. So as I'm scanning, I can take pictures of what I'm looking at. So like in this particular corner, I would take a picture of that. Why? Because it's an overview shot of the room. And another question was asked is, can you use wide angle on this? Yes, the wide angle button is in the photos. It is not in the scan though. So you cannot use it in the scan. You don't have that option. LiDAR won't let us put it, or Apple won't let us put it in there because it's manipulating the camera too much, and the scan is already manipulating the camera. Then you've got a toggle for your flashlight down here. And I'm going to share this with you. If everybody can see me on my video, this is the camera that I use, or not camera. This is the flashlight I use. I just get that at Harbor Freight. And what's nice about it is I just tuck it in my hand like this with my iPad, and I can go ahead and turn it on, and it's going to be bright. I turn it on, and there it is, and it lights up the whole entire room. You can actually get them bigger. There are bigger ones that I know an adjuster. He's actually part of my staff. He hangs his on his belt right there. He's got a belt clip on it, and he just goes in the room and lights it up. So there's just whatever you want to use at this point. It's to each his own. Okay. Scanning, again, taking photos. When you take a photos, that photo is going to show up here in the left. Then you're done scanning. You're going to get a 3D view of your room. At that point, that's going to tell you whether your room is good. If it's not, discard, rescan it. You're going to have to relocate yourself. But if it's good, save it, and then make sure you're putting a new room name up there like you were already given, up in the pulsating button that's going to be at the top, because once you save it, it's going to ask if you're ready. This will turn blue, and then you have to save a new location to save all those photos. Now, those photos that you take in this room will always be tagged to this room. It doesn't even matter if this room doesn't have a name. Once you name it, once you correct the naming or whatever, it will always go to that room. Okay. Then 18, so here's just a simple version. 7, here's my rooms that I scanned, and basically I merge the rooms right there, and then it comes to merge. Okay. 19, here's just a bigger view, unedited sketch. There it is. Now I'm going down here to edit it. So if I want to edit this, I click on the details tab, and I can add a name for that room and just different things. And I will show all this to you on the iPad. But this pretty much kind of guides you through all the steps, wall editing and details, just giving you different avenues and different approaches for this. Okay. Then your scan. Here's another scan. I'm in the office. There's my photos. There's my room details. And I can click on the photos right there, and they'll open up. The whole point about this is I am doing everything in the sketch right here. And I'll show you another version of this same screen when you have scope notes to it also. Okay, now we're into scoping. Okay, so there's 49 people on this call. Y'all need to pay attention to this, because once this update comes through, this will be live. So you'll be able to go into this. Excuse my export to ESX. That's supposed to be up one. I don't know what I did. Maybe I shifted the screen a little bit. Sorry, but it's supposed to be manage line items right there. And then I'm going to blow this up. So when you manage line items right there, you're going to get this window right here that says line items and grouping editor. These are self-built groups by adjusters from all over the countryside that have given me their input and just saying, hey, Todd, create it like this. This might be good, everything. So these are self-built groups. If I want to customize this, I can customize it also right here in this window. I can create a new folder. So I can create this one like this main room. I created that folder, and then I can create a group in that folder. Okay, so you can customize it. You can name this Todd Eisenberg's room. You can name it, just because I'm looking at him right now, Gary Slattery's room. You can name this anything you want, or you can name this your IA firm processes, whatever you want. You can name this anything you need to understand how you're going to use this scoping tool, okay? So once that's done, you can go to the next one. So now let's blow up the scoping tool. So I'm in custom kits right here, or complete kits, excuse me. So notice I've got, I'm trying to blow it up for you. I've got all other rooms, attached garage complete, basement complete, bathroom complete, brick veneer siding, closet doors, crawl spaces. So I've created these complete kits for you that you can select if you want to. Notice I'm in complete kits and I decided to select all other rooms. All other rooms complete has 67 line items in it, okay? So right there, there's my 67 line items right here, line items for groups right there. Now, if I need any additional line items, I can just go down to the lower window. I can type in search, or I can scroll through this window, and all I got to do is hit this little plus, and it's going to go from here to there to above. And that way I can create my own group. Okay. I know some of you have used macros. I personally, as an Xactimate certified trainer, I have to teach macros because it's part of the curriculum, but I don't use them myself. I like copy and paste because I change the pricing for the zip code and I use it that way. Excuse me. Oh. So let me go to the next page here. Hold on. 24. Oh. 24, again, here's adding line items in Sketch. So I'm in the Sketch platform again. Remember what I said? You can do everything in the Sketch platform. Before, in the Sketch platform, I showed you the photos, which are up here. Now we have a new thing where you can add the line items right here. So I happen to be in the entryway. I can go over here and select the line items, select the details, and then select the line items right there. Do I prefer that method? No, it's kind of small. It's not as convenient as the other one. So I just prefer to go to the scoping portion, the scoping tool that I showed you. That's just my preference, but you can do everything. If you're in here, you can take your photos for that loss, do this. Remember I talked about, again, I'm gonna get into my processes. I do this, I first walk through the house with the policyholder and I take prelim photos of all that with a policyholder. Then I go through and I go in and sketch the whole entire thing and take my overview photos. The reason is I want a complete sketch with overview photos. Then I talk with the policyholder and say, did I miss anything? And she confirms it, he confirms it, whatever. No, everything looks good. That's this, or this is a different door, whatever it might be. And I say, okay, well, I'm going to go back and continue my estimate. So then I start back in the beginning, and now I go through there. And what I found is this is my process, and it's very useful to me. I take all my damage photos, and as I'm taking my damage photos, I'm also writing my scope notes. So I'm in that room for maybe 5 minutes and I've got my scope notes done. You can multiple delete items if you want to, but I can leave that room with my scoping done for that room. I don't have to go in there and add anything else. Okay. So that's just, again, my process, and it works good. That's what I've practiced. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. Again, you want muscle memory. It takes 2,867 times to become muscle memory. I'm almost there just because I keep doing it. Okay. And then another one, just here's the scoping tool itself. Oh, sorry, jump windows. Here's the actual scoping tool itself. I'm in the scoping window. I'm going to select items, select the section that I want right here. Let me blow it up for you. Select the room, exterior. I'm going to select the section, complete kits. Then I'm going to go in here and choose the group that I want. This group is brick veneer. It has 12 items in it. So I'm going to pick that. So I go down here, add group, and voila. All those line items show up in the system right off the bat. Okay. So that's as easy as that is. And then there's a line item. So I'm showing a different version. Here's the add line items. Okay. Select. So this is another way you can do it. If you're down in Florida and you have all your houses the same, you can go in, select the room. I'm in here, the hall closet. There's no line items added. I'm going to add the line items. Oh, look, I've already done the office, hallway, exterior, toilet, entryway. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go in here and select one. And then it's going to tell me to copy selected groups. And as soon as I hit copy, put a check mark and hit that button, all those line items that were in that group will show up in that room. So it's very simple to do. I can copy room after room after room and everything in there, and then I can go modify in those rooms if I need to, but I'm getting a basis of everything that I need to. 27, here it is. This is page 27. It's just select 3 dots up in the corner. Basically, you can go in there and add items. You can save as a template. You can select multiple, and you can delete the group. Okay, so if you want to delete this group, you just go over here and delete it, and it will delete all of the line items in that group. You don't want to necessarily do that. But here you can also select those line items right there that are in that circle, and you can hit delete, and all those line items will delete. Then you can also edit the line item. So up here, I'm on clean ceramic tile. I click on it, or this is actually a FN shoe. Sorry, just pulled the window out. So I want to do this. I can go in here and I can change the action if needed and the calculation if needed. So I can modify and edit the calculation. I can delete the groups, everything that I need to do in my scope notes before I upload it to Xactimate. Okay, and your forms, this is part of the administrative section. Some of you have seen these already. I've got all the forms in here. I've got the preliminary report. I've got all the FEMA reports in here for the prelim, the advanced, the subrogation, the APDA, and the mobile home worksheet. There was a glitch on the mobile home worksheet, so that has not been updated yet. We're fixing that glitch on that, and that will be updated shortly. Not for this Apple one, but for the next one. And then all your forms are there, so you can go into your forms and take care of those. Again, here's adding more forms. If these forms aren't enough, you can come over here to the plus. There's the different forms that you can get in there. It was requested that I add a advance for the private flood. So the advance for the private flood has been added. I'm not sure if Apple has that update yet, but I know it's done. But so we have an advance for private flood now, and then there's another form in there. We redid the photo sheet to add the company logo in the upper left-hand corner of the photo sheet. So now you have the company logo and the address in there, for those of you that were asking about that. Page 30, here's the photos. Here's the prelim, excuse me. Here's the advance payment. You can modify these right on site. You can actually also sign these right on site, so you can get the policyholder's actual signature, yeah, using the Apple Pen, or they can use their finger, and you date it. And yes, it is 100% legitimate. And yes, it will pass the file examiner because you are the witness for them signing it. Okay. Then 31, again, claims.
All right.
You muted yourself, Todd.
Can't hear you, brother. Sorry. Yep. Sorry. Sorry about that. The claims questionnaire, it's just a simple process. Yes, there is a question for a claims handbook was received. ICC brochure was received. There's actually a checkbox. Then I actually asked the question earlier or later down in there. Don't ask me how I did that, but I did it. But again, you can sign these. Everything is good to go with the forms. Go to the next one. Oops. Go to the next page. Again, here's the form. I'm going to blow this up because it's kind of particular. Notice I've got my preliminary, my advance. See the little photo icon right there? I click on that and I can add the different photo sheets for that: billing photo sheet, preliminary photo sheet, engineering photo sheet, whatever I need. And advance, I can add the advanced photo sheet. Those photo sheets are there. They will actually attach to that report, and they will actually go up with that report too, along with your FCN card, if you have your FCN card loaded in there. Okay. And then selecting reports, go in here. There's the checkbox right there. You select that, and then you can download it right there. And then it will ask you to add your FCN. You can hit yes or no, and then downloading your report is there. Okay, download. Sorry, I jumped ahead, but there it is. Download. There's my report, and then I can send it to wherever I need to. You can actually email these to different firms if you need to. Like if you have all these boxes checked and you download this report, you can actually email it straight to your examiner if that's what your examiner wants to do. Or you can actually hit submit, and they'll you might be able to, depending on what the IA firm that is partnering with us has done, you can actually upload straight to their CMS. We're working on that right now with a couple different IA firms on partnering and how they want their forms to be uploaded to them. Because once you get back to the hotel, they're done. There's no reason to not do it while you're on site. I say again, there is no reason why not to do it while you're on site. And then you have your photos labeled, everything right there, and then you can upload straight to your IA firm. Okay, and then select the forms again. Then here it is. This is the most important part. Yay. Let me minimize it here. Uploading to Xactimate. Okay, so now, hey, the circle's in the right spot. Upload to Xactimate. Remember that claim data right there. That's important. You must have the claim data filled out. Then you upload to Xactimate. First, or export to ESX, excuse me. The first thing it's going to do is open up into project details. You have to click on this icon right there, the little arrow, to verify that there is no project details missing. If you have a project detail missing, you can simply go to edit the claim data and fix it. If all your claim data is good, you create the project. Okay, so again, project information, make sure all your information is good. You've already done that in the claim data, create project. You go through, the next thing, notice it's green, it passed. Next thing it's going to ask you to do is upload sketch. There's your sketch. You've merged everything. You've got that 100%. You have to check the box, upload sketch. Now, if for some reason you had to go in there and fix the sketch and you've already uploaded one sketch to Xactimate, there's going to be additional buttons there. I couldn't get them to recreate. I'll have to do that somehow. But it will be re-upload your sketch. And what it will do is if you've gone into OSA and changed your sketch and you have to re-upload it, you'll have to upload that sketch and then re-upload it back to Xactimate or to ESX. Okay, so you've uploaded your sketch. Now you complete the project. Once you've created the project, you'll go over here to this window, and right here it says download. You download, save to your drive. So I save it to my insurance folder. So Todd Eisenberg is the house I just inspected. I'm going to go here, download, save to Todd Eisenberg's file, and my ESX will go in there. I open up my Google Drive, and I open up my Xactimate on my desktop, open up another folder for my Google Drive, and I just drag it over to my projects. That simple. It never leaves your iPad until I download it, stick it into my Google Drive, and drag it into my Xactimate. That's how fast it is. And this usually takes maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe 10, depending on how large it is. So you have that ability, like I said, right at your fingertips. It is in your device. It never left. It never went to a corporate office. You never had to send it anywhere. Okay. Then here it is, Xactimate import. Okay. So remember the other day I was talking about this with a couple of you in the classes, and this is it. Drag and save ESX into projects. Okay. Drag save ESX into project. You drag it in there. Okay. Duplicate file to FEMA flood type. You have to do that. Then you got to correct the inspection results. These items right here are not required from Xactimate. Okay. So you have to get these items corrected. Okay. I apologize for that. They are working on that. They're trying to see if it's worth their return on investment to correct it for me. And if they do, they will. But so right now, these errors show up. And then you go to sketch. Notice here's the sketch in Xactimate. And I have an icon up there. It's same as Eagle View. If you've got any wind adjusters in here that have done hail with Eagle View, you have to click on that. Another window is going to open up, and it's going to say one stop adjuster. Then it's going to give this 110001. You have to import that. Once you import that, it's going to blip your screen, and it's going to add all of your line items to that. Then the cleaning up, all I do is what I say about this is I go down there and I delete everything, all the other sketches besides the source one-stop adjuster, and my claim is clean. There's no extra sketches, there's no extra line items, there's no extra fields that I have to deal with. So that basically, then I've got some helpful hints right here. When sketching with the LiDAR, follow the same pattern. Practice with LiDAR sketching. Do not rush the iPad. It will let you know if you're going too fast. Start in small closets if you have a room. Have an extra light available to add additional lighting. If you're inspection, I know there's a couple of you that like to inspect till it's dark. So just make sure you have an extra lighting, because if there's no power and it's dark, the room is dark. And I know some of you like to sketch early when it's dark and get the policyholders there at 6 o'clock. Learn how the system works before the storm. This is just a helpful hint. Learn how it works before you get out there, and then use the feedback and everything for that. So that is the pocket guide. That is in your hot little hands, as Pam has sent that to you. And I'm assuming she's done that. I don't know, but I'm sure I'll find out. This will be helpful for you while you're out there. Pam, go ahead.
I have some asking for a copy of your presentation and or the pocket guide. You can address the presentation part. I am sending the pocket guides as I get the addresses and copying you, just so you know.
Okay, good to go. All right, so I'm going to have a bunch of emails from Pam and from all the adjusters. That's great. I like to read them all. But as far as the presentation, yes, along with all of the other presentations. These videos are long. They're 2 hour. So those are a little bit harder to manipulate and get on there. I'm looking at right now creating a YouTube channel and getting them all put onto the website under a YouTube link. So you'll be able to go to the website and you'll be able to click on the resources tab, and then you'll see the videos there, and you'll see any of the downloaded documents that we have from the classes. I have a lady that's been helping me put together not the presentations, but forms for it, and she's done a great job on doing that, and I'll have that. But yes, the presentations will be there. The one other thing, eventually, it will be the presentation will also be in, or the pocket guide will actually be uploaded to the OSA app also, so you'll be able to see it there. All right. Yes, Matthew Agler.
Hey, man. I was practicing on some water losses I did this week for some day claims, just for the sketching. With the camera, obviously, my iPad, you can zoom to 0.5, so you can get a nice wide-angle view shot of the room overviews. It doesn't seem like it's enabled in the app. Is that something that might be enabled later, or something that Apple doesn't allow you to access?
No, it is enabled in the app. I'll show it to you when I get on my app. I'll show you what the problem is right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, good to go. All right, so let me cancel this presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing this. All right, so y'all should see my iPad. Okay, so I don't lose this because I've forgotten every single time someone has brought this up to me. So I'm going to answer Matthew Aguilar's question really quick. So I'm in scoping right now. I'm going to go over to the photos. Here's my photos. I'm going to go down here to my primary closet right here. Where's my icon? Primary closet. I'm going to click on my primary closet. There's my photos. So scroll it up. I'm going to click on the plus sign right there. Okay. I'm going to take a photo with that. And notice I have my photos up here. Over here in the left-hand corner where my camera icon is, I'm going to move my camera icon over here. Apple did something, and we're trying to figure out and debug what they did to the app. When they did an update on something, they updated something on the camera, which took the function away. So if you're right here, I'm going to click on this so you all get to see me for a second. And now I'm going to go back. Notice when I clicked on that, or I clicked on the, excuse me, that's the flash. If I clicked on that, notice I have the camera there. So now I have the wide angle. We're trying to figure out why what Apple did to it, but it is there. It is operational and you can use it, but this is the wide angle photo right here. So you can get in there and take a wide angle photo of it, okay? So it is there and it does work. I just have to figure out, or my developer is figuring out what they did when they updated their camera to get rid of it. So it's just a coding thing. We just got to figure out what they did. I hope that answered your question, Matthew. And everything. All right.
Absolutely. I just copied it on mine and it works fine. Thank you. That's all I need.
Yep. Good to go. All right. So again, as you saw in the help guide, I'm not going to go through the help guide the pocket book or the pocket guide again on my iPad. I'm just going to kind of browse through it with you quickly because I know some of you might have some questions. Daryl Tigner, excuse me. Yeah, question?
Hey, quick thing, Tar. If you have an older, let's say you had a claim that you did a couple of months ago, and when you guys do the update, does the software now update the things, those claims to those features, or it still be an old version of it?
No. So what happens right now, currently, and I actually had someone on this phone call just do this with the update. They did some claims back in, I don't know when, a couple months ago. and they went in and did the recent update. And down at the bottom, it will ask you to, I can't remember the exact terminology, but it's down there in like the lower left-hand corner. It will ask you to update your sketch or to move your sketch forward. And you click on that, and it will take everything that you done on the old app or whatever back, say, a year ago or 6 months ago, and it will convert it to the new one. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
All right. So here we are. I'm in a claim. And again, I'm going to go in here to the data. This is the claim data right here that I was talking about. So this is nothing more than getting on here and just answering these questions. Okay. The same thing you have right here is on your website. I'm going to actually share my website, present now, is the actual website right here. So the same information that you were just looking at on my screen broadcast is right here in the website. So you'll go to onestopadjuster.com and you'll import the form, go over to import form, and then you'll be able to fill this information out right here on the import form as you go through. Now, like I said before, I'm not going to go through this and fill it all out and have you guys watch me. I've done that and I've got a video on that, and you guys can all practice it yourself. But what I do like about this, doing it on the website, and there's a couple of people on this call that have used it in the past, this same one, is notice once I click in here, the adjuster name to add, I've got all my adjuster names. If I click on my FCN comes up. My phone number comes up. So I only have to click in there once, okay? So as I put information in there, agent names, I've got agent names. As I put information in there, it remembers those, okay? Policy holders, there's my policy, but it only remembers like the last 6. So you just got to be careful what you're doing. But as you go through, you can see that everything is in here. Now, if you are partnering, or if your IA firm is partnering with OSA, and they've got a signed contract with us and everything, and they're working out all the details, all this information that you see here will come populated into Xactimate automatically, where the incoming window is, where the incoming claims is. Okay, and I'll show you that when I get back there. But all this information is here. You fill it all out the best of your ability from the loss notice. You hit submit. You're going to get a bunch of information here, and then you download the JSON. And once you've downloaded the JSON, you go up there and you save it in the upper corner up here, and you save it to that insureds folder. I just put the insureds folder and I just leave it as JSON data so I know what it is, or you can put claim data, whatever it is. Just it, you can rename it whatever you want it to be. Okay. So that is the website that you can fill all this information out. I don't know if any of you practiced this or looked at the website, but you can get in there and kind of create your own claim right here and submit it so you can understand what the JSON data is and how you want to save it. I know people use OneDrive, they use Dropbox, they use Box and Google Drive. I prefer like Google Drive, and just because everything else is linked to Google Drive. So that's just a preference of mine. Okay, so now you should see my OSA again, and I'm in the claim data. So right here is all the information. Again, you can save your logos right here. Just click on the folder. You can go in there to wherever you got your icon saved or logos saved, Google Drive, wherever they might be, and you can download them right there. I can hit Google Drive. Mine are in Dropbox, actually. I can go here to one-stop adjuster claims, company logos, and there's all the company logos that I can download and put into my system. Okay, so those are there. I just need to download them. But all my claim data. Okay, so on the initial setup, that's very important. The next one is for you is the adjuster profile down here. You want to make sure you populate this and just fill it out. You can put all your licenses in here. Oh, I forgot to do that change. And then your OSA ID right here where the icon is, where it's kind of lighting up, that's the most important part. You want to make sure that that OSA ID is recorded somewhere on a piece of paper, just in your top drawer or whatever. Okay, so you want to make sure that is, but you can fill this out, and especially if your IA firm is partnering with you, you want them to be able to see that. Okay. So going through again, then your resources, like I showed you up here, let me slide that over. Oh, actually, I can just do that. There's a bunch of different tools that you can use right here. I like the checklist personally. Right there, I send my general property checklist to the policyholder and say, sir, you're not getting any money until I have all this information. And they comply. They actually do it. And I usually get that information the next day, if not later that night, depending on when I call them. And same with the RC BAP. I send this, who is the board of directors? They have to comply and get me all of this information before I'm out there, and they also comply, the board of directors. But I can do the claims handbook, and here's what I didn't show you in the pocket guide. This is why I came to this window. If I'm talking to the policyholder and I want to send them information, all I do is click on the upper right-hand corner up here where it says share, click on share, and then I can go over here and highlight all the ones I want. So I can send them, if they got a basement guide and you want to send them that, go ahead. Me, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but let me shrink that one up. I'm going to check the box of claims handbook. I'm going to check the box of ICC brochure, and then I might send them the dwelling checklist along with the summary of dwelling charges. Scrolling down, if they got contents, I can send them the contents, and I can send all this information at one time because it is all going to be in a zip drive. And as I'm talking to them on the phone, I send this information to them. I'm not sure who that is. James Bell, mute yourself, please. I'll mute you. Never mind. You're muted.
Sorry.
No problem. All right, so you can send all your information right there. Okay. So and the policyholder get it, then you can confirm with your policyholder that you did get it, okay, or that they did get it. So that's just another way of checks and balance. Your business card, your FCN card, again, take a photo, choose from the gallery, upload from third party. Everything is right there at your fingertips, so you can upload that, okay? And then I showed the feedback. The feedback is important. Because you want to be able to send me feedback if you're having a glitch or something like that. Yes, I may be able to help you right there on the spot, but it possibly might be later at night or something, because I've got to try to recreate what your issue was, and be able to tell the developer what's going on, and hopefully he can put out a quick fix if it's a major one. But we haven't had that issue at this point, but I can't say it's not going to happen. Okay, so it's just available. Okay. Then again, I'm going to show you this because I talked about it in the things. Here's your managed line items. Again, complete kits. Here's all your complete kits. Notice stairs complete. There's just a handful of line items in there that you can do. You can upload and delete what's not applicable. However you want to do those line items, you can, or you can create your own. Like this one, I created a main group, just deeper learning. I just threw in some line items just to kind of show everybody in one of my classes. Okay. So again, this is an administrative thing. It's just everything that you want to do is here, right here in the resources as you go through. Now, the one thing that I didn't show you is right here on the current claims. This was kind of a small picture. Here's my current claims in the system. These are all in my dashboard. I created all these automatically. If you're partnering with us, I know some of the IA firms are partnering. You have incoming claims right here. You will have that claim and you will have approve or accept or deny buttons, and you'll just have to accept or deny that claim. Okay. So once you have that, that's where the current claims are. That's where the incoming claims are. Annette, you had a question? Annette, unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you got?
Question, when it comes to like dry out logs, each of these carriers have these stupid numbers as well as firms, not being mean, but we all know it. Is there a way to like set it up maybe for each one? That way it's already preset?
For what do you mean? Dry out logs.
Like,
Dry out logs are based on a mitigation estimate.
well, you got the, like some of my firms want me to use for like a basement, $1.03. Other people want me using 99 cents. Some want me using 97 cents. And a lot of these carriers are dictating that particular.
None of the line items have a price. It's just the line items. Xactimate won't release their pricing. So once you upload it into Xactimate, sorry, don't know what happened there. Once you upload your claim into Xactimate, you will then have a price put there. It will ask you for the zip code, and then you'll have to change the price. In OSA, we don't have that capability of doing that because Xactimate does not share their pricing information with us. That's proprietary to them.
I was just trying to make my life easier instead of having so many different ones for every carrier I work. But thank you. Good talk.
Sorry. Yep. All right. Thanks. All right. So you have, again, your thing. So here's all the claims that are in the system right there. And again, incoming claims are claims that would come in. You'll never receive these unless you have an IA firm that's partnered. Otherwise, your IA firms will be blank. Then the next thing is all those claims are mapped. And again, for those of you that have not seen this before, if you go to the claims dashboard, notice I have a lot of those claims completed already. Then I've got some not scheduled, completed, not scheduled, or scheduled. So if I go to my map, we've kind of made this very easy for you to understand. If I go to the question mark in the upper left-hand corner right here, and I click on that, notice I have my map markers. It basically says what the colors are: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, unscheduled. Gives me the ability to have those colors on the different dates. As you go into week 2, week 3, notice below that, it kind of turns a little bit lighter. But you don't have to necessarily worry about that anymore, provided you use the tools that are in front of you. Because what we've done is we've kind of made it simple. Here's all my icons in the center of my screen. If I want to hide the completed, boom, they all disappeared. That's because I've only got one inspection left that I haven't completed yet. Okay. So that's a very useful tool for you to have, and keep that in mind, because when you have a bunch of colors out there, it can get very, very confusing. And so I was screaming for this, and my developer was able to get it done, because when you had 60 of these and they were all yellows and greens and purples and reds and blues, and you had 60 dots on your screen, like in the beginning of the storm, it's very, very confusing. You have to understand what you're doing and know how you scheduled it. That's why the calendar map comes over here, is very useful right there. Again, like I showed you before, if I push on it and I change it, it changes the color, changes the date, it changes all the forms in OSA. So OSA is learning. OSA is very intuitive on what you're doing and how you're doing it. So it understands that if you make a change, instead of have you going back and change it on all these other forms, we do it one time, it changes everything as it goes through. Okay. So again, you got the claims dashboard and the planning. And then the last thing we'll talk about, and I'll try to have everything wrapped up here. I got an 11-minute video of what's coming next, and I want everybody to watch that. But we'll talk about the forms. Here's the forms. I go down to the last icon and click on the forms. All I got to do is press it, and there it is. That form is operational. I can go in there and change it as I need. Right there, this is updated according to FEMA's newest, latest, and greatest. I can put in the dates. I can put in when the water receded. Everything that I need to do, I can put in there and change as I need to. I can also hit the approximate time entered. Notice if I go up here and put time of loss right there, time of loss, that time of loss carries down here to the time entered. You just have to make sure that it doesn't roll over to Xactimate. So you just have to make sure that you put the current time of loss in your Xactimate report. Okay. Then all the inches and everything will populate in there. I get used to this. You don't, depending on how you work, I go in there and I always go up here to the right-hand corner and hit save. It saves automatically. Excuse me. Gotta have a drink. And no, it's just water. It saves automatically, but it's just a habit for me, just because I've used it, and back in the old days, we did have to save it, so it's just automatic for me. So just that. Keep that in mind. And then you can move these forms up and around to input wherever you need to. I do like this form. I'm going to show you this form just because I like it. Some of you, your IA firm is going to require certain things from you to do. I do this just because it's one of those things. Property address, mailing address, you can't take a picture of your license anymore, or you have to blot it out anyways. This does the same thing. You mark your mailing address, property address, 80%. They have them sign it down here at the very bottom. It says license validation scan. You flip their driver's license over, hit the little scan button in the back. Depending on where your camera is located on your iPad, it may receive it, it may not. Also, depending on the lighting, and that's just it's just a camera thing on the iPad, and it's not a program glitch or anything. It's just a camera thing. You can scan the barcode. The public information will print out: first name, last name, street address, and zip. There's no photos of anybody. This is all public information. If that matches the loss address, you've accomplished your task at proving the statement of primary residency. If it does not, you just check that box down here below, and you just have to provide additional information for that. Okay. So your forms are here. Also, if you go over here to the left, or excuse me, to the right, and all I'm doing is just bringing my finger over to the right and dragging it, I can actually set these up to where my default forms come out, my new structures, scan view, everything comes out in the way I want things to do. You're going to have to get used to that, playing with that as what you see. But depending on how you want it to look, you can get that all changed right there. Is there any questions about the forms or what we've talked about right now? Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you just is a quick video. This video is 11 minutes long. The reason I want to show this video to you is because there's some problems that I've created in the video to basically show you how easy on site it is to fix. So just watch the video. It's, again, I think it's 11 minutes long, and then I want to answer any questions because I know there's a lot of new people out here on that. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Okay, just give you a little narrative. I'm going to I didn't narrate this as I was going through that, so I'm just going to kind of speak through it as I'm going, just to some key points that I want you guys to just identify with. But this will give you kind of really how easy it is. Again, this video is approximately 11 minutes long, and you'll see what can all be done in 11 minutes. Okay, I'm in the sketch platform. I'm going to the room. Notice I'm labeling the room as I explained in the pocket guide. So I'm scanning my entryway. Taking pictures. That's what the click is that you hear. Just taking overview shots. Okay, click done scanning. There's my picture, save. Now it's asking me to name the next room. Sometimes if you're going through and it doesn't recognize the window, you just have to slow down a little bit. Sometimes taking a picture of that area will help recognize the window, but it will get everything all the way through that to include furniture and everything. And that just shows you that what's coming. Don't have a plan for it, but yes, it's coming. I'm just showing you that you can take more photos than just your overview photos if you want to. It's just real simple. You just keep clicking and they will all go into that same room as you're going through there. Okay. I name the next room dining room and then just begin the scan. Hey, I was in the dining room. The kitchen area is attached to the dining room, but I'm scanning it as a different area because I want the photos in there separately into just the kitchen because I got cabinets. I possibly have other damage there. So, and I've got the appliances. So I'm going to just make sure that I take that as a separate room. I could have done it all in one room if you can. And you'll notice as I go through this, I do everything in one room just because I want the photos there. But that's all depending on what you want. I advise it to be done that way. And part of the reason is because the longer you scan, the less effective your LiDAR becomes. So if you're scanning for 10, 15 minutes, you have risk of losing everything that you scan. So you might have to start over. So I just scan one room at a time, really quick, simple, to the point, done, get my photos, and I move on to the next room. It doesn't take long. I mean, you see what I'm scanning and the length of time it's taking, and I'm doing all my photos at the same time. Or some of my photos, just depends. I'm just trying to make sure I'm giving you guys what you might want to see as an instructor. Okay, now I'm going to go in this back area and I'm just going to show you I want you to see if you can find my mistake. It's not a mistake. I purposely did it because I wanted you guys to see if you can catch it. But just watch through as I'm going through here and watch what you see me doing on the screen. Watch what you see me filming or taking pictures of, and watch how you see me going through there. Because everything that I've found is fixable. It's just a matter of what you do and how you do it. That wasn't a mistake. She she didn't know I was filming for class. Sorry, it's my daughter. So I turned on my flashlight right here just because the closet was a little dark. And I just did that in there just to kind of show you. Yes, that's all whiskey in the boxes at the bottom of the closet. I'm pointing out the mistake if you guys didn't catch it. So notice every other room says scanned. The back hallway is right in front of me, but it doesn't say scanned. Not a big deal. Okay. You just have to think through it and say, okay, I'm moving on. I got the picture. I've got it saved. I've got all the details for that scan. I've just got to go back and fix it later. And I can't fix it now, so I'm going to fix it later. That's what the mistake was. And there was another one too. It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional, but I wanted to show you guys. Okay, notice my sketch right there. It's a little off. And the reason it's off is because the way I did my scan, I created that issue just to try to show you in the class how easy it is to fix it. It's not hard. You just have to figure out the manipulation of it and what you have to do. And up there in the undo of the sketch, you can kind of see, you can undo as many rooms, but as you see, I'm just playing around with it because I wanted to throw these curveballs at you saying, oh my gosh, don't panic. It's really simple. Just have to delete what you're seeing and what you're doing. Notice I just extend the wall. It connects everything that you need to. Okay. It's a little off right there. So you just gotta go in and play with it a little bit to figure out the coincidence in where the problem is, what the problem is, adjust it. And then again, you might have to check the measurements again, make sure the measurements are balanced. Notice I'm moving the wall just to show you that you can manipulate this any way you want. It's not going to cause any problems. Room 4 was actually labeled as a bathroom, but notice the bathroom's not there. It's room 4. Notice I just created another issue to show you that, okay, I just created that. Here's how easy it is to fix. Notice the room. There it is. I just got to click on the right thing to delete it. It's deleted now. I just zoomed in and then I can go in and fix it. So all these tools are built in here. Notice you'd never get this fixed in Xactimate. Just pop it together. It works real easy. And then you can adjust the windows. You can do everything. The most you might have to do is if there was a mix-up, is just recheck your measurements and stuff like that with your laser. But what you want to do is, the reason I created these errors, the reason I did that is I wanted to show you everything is manipulated, everything is ease of use, everything is in the tools in the sketch area. Once you merge that floor plan, you can manipulate it any you want. Get in there, create yourself a problem. Go in there and do something. You can also create closets. You can also do a variety of different things. Stephen Nash, you had 2 questions. Amy Ward, you had a question. Hold on.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
So you don't suggest fixing it during it so that you can see the room as a full sketch at the end? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
my suggestion is wait till it's merged so you can see where your problem is, because it's gonna, the way my son built it, my son's the developer, the way my
Right.
son built it is to fix it itself. But sometimes when they're disconnected, like I originally showed you,
Right.
it won't fix itself. So I had to go back in there and do that. So I try to instruct everybody, it's better once you have the merged layout to fix it that way. Yes, you might have to remeasure, but I mean, I didn't have to do any of that on that particular one. I just had to fix the walls to get the walls correct.
Right.
But
Awesome.
that's just my suggestion. And then once I'm uploading a good sketch to Xactimate. I'm not uploading trash. So it's going to Xactimate's going to receive it and print it out in the floor plan.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank
Amy
you.
Ward, you had a question? Great question, Stephen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When you were doing the sketch of the open room between the dining room and the kitchen, how did you stop? You know what I mean? Like normally when you're doing LiDAR, like with your mobile app, you have to have that wall to be able to stop and save. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what you do is, and I didn't show you in that, and I can on Thursday, if you bring that question back up, I can show you too. But you just stop. You don't need a wall, you don't need anything. You just stop, and it's going to leave that whole end open. So you save the room, it's done, and then you start your next sketch, and then you go in there, and then to separate the rooms on Thursday, I'll show you. All you got to do is just drag a wall through there and it will create the separate rooms. Then you hide the rooms or hide the wall, excuse me. And I can show you all that on Thursday. Just make sure I don't forget and bring it up on Thursday if you're going to be there. David Goff, you had a question? If I said that right, sorry.
Oh, you said it right. So are you, when you've got mistakes you caught, are you doing all these changes on your iPad, or are you just able to go back and do it later on your desktop before you create your ESX, or how are you doing that?
What's nice about this system, the way we've got it uploaded, is I can do either or. Me personally, I fix everything on site. And the reason is because I'm never going to remember after doing 3 more or 4 more sketches that day. I'm never going to get it until it's uploaded. So I fix everything on site. It might take an extra 3 minutes. That took me, well, you watched the video. That whole video right there was 11 minutes long. So I did everything to include all the fixing of that sketch in 11 minutes. So that's my choice. And that's what I suggest everybody do, just as food for thought.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep. Is there any other questions? Yes.
Hey, Todd.
Steven.
So
Yep.
so when you're filming the room, going up and down the walls and whatnot, and you're snapping your camera, it doesn't break the train or the system, so to speak. Doesn't break your drawing with the.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah. So just to give, and you guys will learn this on Thursday, because I'm actually I do a live scan in the class. I can actually go from one side of my house all the way to the other side of the house and then work my way back, and LiDAR will pick it up and put my house together the way it needs to be. Derek Pegs, I guess. Pegas.
All right, how you doing, Pageesh? I was just gonna
Sorry.
ask. It's okay. Is this? I might have missed it if you did mention it before. Is this only for iPad use only?
Yes, sir, it is right now, because the Android devices do not have LiDAR capability.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right. Terry Sims, you had a question? Harry, unmute. You're unmuted. Still can't hear you, Terry. All right, moving on. Put it in the text. Terry, write your question in the text, and Pam will be able to answer it, or I can answer it. I'll be able to read it. I've got the text open. Darren Tigner.
Yes, sir. Hey, Todd. Quick question, man. You know how I was going over the sketch, and I don't remember from the presentation we did earlier in the year. How does it, like on the sketch? How's it? I know it'll count for cabinets, but does it take you see an area that has furniture? Does it take that out of the square footage, or can
No,
you
it
delete
does
them
not.
from the sketch?
Nope, it
Okay.
doesn't. All it's doing, just so you guys understand the way the scan works, the scan is drawing a box around the furniture. The scan is going to draw a box around the cabinetry. We do not have the measuring device built into the cabinetry yet, because we have to do Apple coding in order to get that measurement out correctly. And it's not that important. I just use the measuring device in the iPad to do that. But so all that stuff just shows up as a ghost image. And then as you saw me merge my rooms, that's my actual room. It shows all the walls, it shows everything, all the square footage. Yes, Derek.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Derek, you had a question? Okay. Steven Nass.
Can I ask what iPad you're using?
I just bought the newest iPad Pro 11-inch.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, it's only 3 months old. Yes, Matthew Aguilar.
Obviously it's capturing the windows and everything. What I didn't understand earlier was, do we have the capability to import the sketch yet, or is that what's still waiting for Apple to approve?
Actually, we're hoping to get something tonight from them, but
Okay.
yeah. So export to ESX is available. It works as you've seen it on my computer and stuff. Everything's good. We're just waiting for Apple to give us the handshake, say good to go, and then once
Okay, so
Apple
it's
does
not
that,
like
it will
I'm
be
not missing it
published.
in my app. It's not actually in mine yet till it updates.
No, yeah, no.
So the question I had, because I can't see it, because I've been transferring it over, does the LiDAR keep track of the window height when it imports it?
As far as height off the ground,
Height off the ground, the actual height of the window itself, because some will be 2 feet tall, some will be 6 feet tall.
No.
I was having to take this 2D sketch once I merged everything and then use it like a sketch pad, which is way better than sketching on paper. So I don't feel like it was a waste of money. Plus it was practice, but I was having to kind of guess at the window heights because when I was looking at the 2D window, I couldn't see what the height of the window was. Will it import the proper window heights when we're able to import the ESX?
I believe it does, and that's just because it's recognizing the window measurements. So I believe it does do that off of the ground correctly. But that's actually the first question I've ever been asked that. So I will look, actually. I'll test it out myself.
And then kind of
And
in
do
the
that.
same regard, I think I remember you saying before, it's not capturing the ceiling, the height of the wall for us. We're having to go into exact and set our ceiling heights
Yeah,
and change
so
the
yeah,
ceiling
so
height, peak or whatever.
yeah, so without getting into Apple programming language and stuff like that, room scan is defaulted at 8 foot. So it's automatically set like for the vaulted ceiling that you saw in my living room. I just use the measuring tool and measure that height really quickly and just add a note right there because it's a vaulted area. And plus the scan shows or the 3D sketch shows it. That's something else that I do as a rule of thumb is when I merge the room and I have that 3D plan right there, I always take a picture of that. So I just take a screenshot of that. So I have that and I put that in with my folder. So I have a 3D visual of that. But that's just another thing that you can do. It's just, yeah, but it's always going to default to 8 foot. It doesn't have we're not writing, we're not trying to be Exactmate and try to get all the tools and try to do the ceiling heights. It might come down the line, but right now we're trying to get you a solid program out there that you guys can use to balance everything.
Yeah, we can
I
work
hope
with
that,
that. It's just knowing that we need to, because I forgot to measure
yeah,
my ceiling heights the other day, and it wasn't until I got back in the office and started transferring everything over that I remembered what you said before. I was making
right.
sure that hasn't changed. So
All right. Life is good. You had a question? I can't hear you. You're muted. Here, hold on. I can't unmute. I can't unmute you. You're still muted. Down in the center of your window, you should be able to unmute.
Some can also push the space bar to unmute.
Yeah, try pushing the space bar too. Oh, I lost him completely. Lost his video. Right next to your video is your unmute. Nope, still lost you. All right, I'm sure we'll come. If you want, you can put your questions in the chat room and Pam can answer you also. Adam Vaden, question.
Yes, I know that you mentioned being able to practice as much as you can. Will we be able to have like some mock claims that we
Yeah,
can?
so what will happen is Apple puts restrictions on everything that they do. And we used to have it to where you could get free 5 claims for free, but as soon as we went live with that, they canceled our account. So we had to rebuild our account and then they allowed us to do 2. So when you download the app and you go to manual, it will give you 2 claims. And that's all I can give you right now. I know that there's probably a handful of people on here that have already purchased 10 more claims because they're not letting this pass them by. They are going with it. And there's a bunch of other people that are doing that too. So your gift was the pocket guide also to answer the chat room. All right, Derek, you still have your hand up, and Adam, you still have your hand up. And Stephen Nash, you got another question? Or Stephen Nash, you got another question?
Is our user ID name given out by your website or from our IA firm for this?
Your OSA ID is in
Yes,
your
that's right.
your OSA ID is in your app under the adjuster profile.
Excellent. Thank
And
you.
I'm not sure what IA firm you've worked for, but if they're
BAC.
going to, yeah, if they're going to partner with us, BAC needs that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Matthew, you got a question?
Yeah, I think I remember you saying this on one of the other presentations, but I'm going to ask to make sure I'm remembering correctly. I downloaded it on my phone, downloaded it on my iPad. Those two don't mix, correct?
That is 100% correct. The reason
It's
we do
still the
that
same
is,
account, and I can use the credits if I say catch myself without my iPad and decide to use my phone, but I can't move it back and forth.
yes, you cannot move it
Okay.
back and forth, but you can use the same credits, downloading it to your phone or to your iPad. Yes.
Perfect. I thought I remembered that. I think you said that things just break when you try to move them back and forth.
That is 100% correct. That's why there's a lot of problems with other things that you use. All right. Well, it is 7:50, and I think we had a great class. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. I invite you all back for Thursday's class, and we're going to be doing some things. We're going to show you some sketching and some photo manipulation and stuff like that, because there's a lot of things that you can do in the photos that people don't realize, and hopefully we'll have something back from Apple, and I will be bearing gifts, or not bearing gifts, but bearing great news for you. Again, my hands are tied, guys. Everything is with Apple for their review. It's just a matter of getting it back from them. And then because we haven't changed a lot, but because we've added the scope notes, that's probably what they're looking at to make sure we have handled things. Okay, but I welcome everybody back, and again, you can never learn too much, especially with something new, and you want to make sure that you guys are well prepared for the class. And I mean, I know there's a couple individuals that have been here, and they have beta tested for me for years and years, and they're still coming here. All right. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you again on Thursday. And great class, and great time, and hope to see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yep.
Thank you, Ted.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.